really matter what you say or don't say. So, listen to Creighton, you're here at the EPP Summit. People are wondering, why are you here after your expulsion from the Fine Gael parliamentary parties? Why are you here, and what's your role in the EPP?
Well, I'm an elected vice president of the EPP, and I've been in the role since last November. Hopefully will continue in the role until autumn 2015, when my mandate will expire. Basically, this is the quite normal pre-European Council summit where all of the heads of state and government meet with the presidency of the EPP before the summit to discuss the agenda and to exchange and discuss on other relevant issues to our political families. So obviously European Council is dealing with the digital agenda, progress on implementation of the digital agenda. So that's, I think, probably a little bit of good news from Ireland's point of view, because it's an important one. We're seen as a bit of a digital hub in Europe, and also because we make quite a lot of progress on some of those important files during our presidency. And then the other element, which is probably the most pressing and most important, is the Economic and Monetary Union agenda, key to which is banking union. And of course, the Taoiseach has circulated his letter regarding the potential for the European Stability Mechanism to directly recapitalise European banks, with Ireland being regarded as a special case, and obviously we'll be pursuing that here today as well. So I think we've built a very good understanding within our political family and the centre-right over the last 2 years about what needs to happen. We've had some worrying signals from the socialists in Germany, particularly in the last number of weeks, so I've already been discussing that with some of my colleagues from Germany, and the need to really keep focused on the commitments that have already been made, and hopefully see some progress from Europe's point of view and also from Ireland's point of view.
And do you expect progress to be made while negotiations are still going on in Germany in relation to the formation of a government there?
Well, I think obviously, a government, when it's being formed, needs space, and my understanding is that these negotiations will probably go on until early December. That's what I'm hearing from my colleagues here. So obviously I don't think there'll be any dramatic decisions taken while that's going on, but it's important that that we input into that process, that we as Irish people make it known our concerns that the commitments that have been entered into by the previous German government are honoured. I think that's not a problem with Angela Merkel and the CDU. I do see a problem with the Socialists, and I would call on the Labour Party and the leadership of the Labour Party to use their contacts in the European Socialists in the same way that we have used ours to good effect over the last 2 years within the EPP.
And so you think that the danger to the corporation tax coming from the German side, you think that the Irish Labour Party can actually influence their counterparts in Germany? Well,
I hope they can. They certainly have to try. We have invested, as I said, a huge amount of time and energy in this over the last 2 years within the centre-right, within the EPP. And I think it's important that the Labour Party, as a partner in government, does the same thing with its political partners right across Europe, but particularly in Germany, where we are hearing very worrying noises coming about corporate taxes, specifically Irish corporate taxes, and also about the direct recapitalisation of banks, which is crucial. It has been factored into the markets to the sort of relative stability that we have seen in the last year or so, and if there seemed to be a rollback on that, it would have very serious consequences for the whole of the Eurozone. So it's important, and I don't think that the leadership of the Labour Party can afford to stay silent on it.
Okay. The other delegate at the top table, of course, today will be the Taoiseach.
Yeah.
You will be sitting opposite him. Will you exchange views together, or is there? Yeah. You're both here in separate in your own capacities.
No, I think we're both here representing Ireland and obviously Fine Gael as well, and we've worked very closely together for the last 2.5 years. I haven't deviated off that course one bit. I fully support the sentiments of the letter circulated by the Taoiseach last night, and I'll work constructively with him and with my colleagues from the Fine Gael party to pursue that agenda on the European stage. I'm totally committed to that. I don't think that anybody could ever call into question my commitment to it. I've worked tirelessly to try to improve the situation and circumstances for Ireland within the European family, and that's what I'm doing here today, and that's what I'll continue to do within the EPP. And my work doesn't just sort of occur when I come to a summit once every 3 or 4 months. I'm working as a Vice President of the European People's Party every week.
Okay.
Lucinda, you seem to be taking a more robust stance on bank recapitalisation than the Taoiseach is. Would it be fair to say today might be a case of good cop, bad cop from Ireland's point of view between the two of you?
I'm not sure that I am. I mean, I think the Taoiseach has been very explicit in all of his interventions, both within the EPP and at European Council over the last couple of years. So, I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe my tone is different. I'm not sure, but I have very, very good relations with all of my colleagues here in the EPP, and I intend to use that and to work with the Taoiseach to achieve that important goal.
On your role here, obviously you got that position being prominent member of Fine Gael. Now that you've been expelled, do you think you're in a bit of Colin McKeveney territory here?
Certainly not. I mean, I've been involved in the EPP since I was 18 years old. Just to clarify that, I'm a former board member of the youth of EPP. My contacts in the EPP all over Europe go back a very, very long way. That's why I topped the poll in our elections last year. And I think I still, well, I don't think I know, because I've had conversations with Prime Ministers, with Ministers, and with colleagues from all over the European People's Party, all corners of Europe, who support me very strongly. And I have to say, are quite bemused at the fact that a person could be expelled from a parliamentary party for not voting for abortion. But that's an issue for another day. But I mean, I haven't encountered any difficulties. Everybody's very supportive of me, and I'm continue to do my work. Nothing has changed.
Okay, finally, if the NSA tapped into Kenny's phone, what kind of stuff do you think they'd hear?
Well, that's a very interesting question. I don't know. I've never really listened into Kenny's phone calls, so I have no idea. But hopefully they're not doing that.
Cool, thanks.